let us know your introductions very quickly. Introduce yourself on the chat. Yeah. So we've got Professor Sridhar from IIIT as well, who's going to help you understand your journey into cybersecurity, the concepts that you need to gain, the skills that you need to gain, all of that, right? Yes, Samir, hi, welcome. Abdul, welcome. Good evening to you as well. Yeah, given your introductions on the chat. Sarabjeet, hi. Rushikesh, hi. Suvarna, good evening to you. Sanket, good evening. My name is Aparna, and I'm going to be your host for today. I'll be monitoring the chat, helping you with the session, navigate the session, helping you understand how you can get the best out of this session, right? Yeah. Yogesh, Shakti, Rupesh, hi. Great, 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 great. So people who are just joining in now, we're just about to get started. So quickly introduce yourself on the chat. So what I'm also going to do is, without wasting any more time, I'm just going to launch a quick poll just to understand our audience a bit better, right? So in case you're done with your introduction, make sure you answer the question on the poll. And people watching us on YouTube, make sure again you are letting us know what your professional background is, how many years of experience you carry, which role, what is your current job role like? Yeah, yeah. Induja, Shivaprasad, Rajiv. Hi, great to know. A lot of you from different parts of India. Nice to see. Yeah, great, great. Let's just answer these questions on the poll. A couple of them actually asking your work experience and also asking what your professional background is, right? So please make sure. Hi Manish, hi Ayush from YouTube. Let us know your professional background. Edmund, hi. Great. Some of you are already working, you're in entry-level roles. It's glad to know. Great. So I'm just going to end the poll right here, and I'm going to share these results with Professor Sridhar. You should be able to see the results now. I guess there are a couple of questions. A lot of them are in their early careers, so I guess this session will help them understand how they can get started in cybersecurity within 6 months, right? So we're just going to understand, are 6 months really enough? What should your roadmap be? What should your learning roadmap be? And we're also going to help you understand how the IIITB Advanced Executive Program in cybersecurity is going to help you here in your learning journey, in your upskilling journey, and what career opportunities you can take up after this course, right? And towards the end of the session, a couple of free giveaways as well. So make sure you stay till the end. And of course, we're also going to talk about the enrollment steps into this course. Yeah, you might have a lot of questions to ask Professor Sridhar. So what you can do is you can use the Q&A box, right? So we've got a lot of learners interacting on the chat box. The session is going to involve you to interact with us throughout. Just make sure you use the Q&A box for asking your questions. So Aditya, the audio is working perfectly fine. So make sure if you guys have issues with my screen, with my audio at any point of time, just rejoin and you should be fine. Yeah. All right. Okay, great. So what I've also done is I've kept the Q&A public, as in if you post a question, anybody will be able to see it. If you feel the need to answer it, go ahead and answer it and help other learners as well. But make sure your questions are relevant to cybersecurity, relevant to how you can get started, and around the conversation that we're having today. Okay, yes. And people on YouTube, I will be looking at your questions. Ayush, Sachin, welcome, Mayank, everyone else. So we'll be taking your questions as well. So make sure you interact with us on the live chat. Keep your questions relevant as well. Yes. So towards the end, you will also get a webinar certificate, which is what I said. There are a couple of free giveaways. Make sure you stay till the end, and we'll understand how you can get your certificate. Okay, great. So a lot of you might be understanding, you already have awareness about cybersecurity, career options, you know what you do already, right? But like I can see there are a lot of beginners as well. I know this poll is kind of repetitive. You already said you're all beginners, you're in your early careers, but still, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to launch another quick poll here, asking you your awareness, because again, session is about letting you know a 6-month roadmap, right? So we just want to understand where you are um, in terms of information, how informed are you? Yes. Whenever we launch a poll, make sure you answer it in the first 1.5 minutes, because we want to get started with the session as well. Yeah. Good evening, everyone else who's joining in. We're just about to get started. I'll introduce Professor Sridhar very, very quickly, and then we are, right into the session. Just another couple of minutes. Make sure you quickly give in your responses on the poll. How aware are you? How much of an information do you already have? Right? Okay. Okay, great. And this time I'm going to end the poll slightly early. Yes, there you go. Again, it's like almost a 50-50 mix, Professor Sridhar. If you can see, some of them already are aware. Again, about half of them are beginners as well. Okay, great, great. Thank you so much for these responses. This is the exact kind of enthusiasm that we want throughout the session as well. Okay, so let me quickly introduce Simplilearn to you, what we do. Simplilearn offers skills in various domains, cybersecurity being just one of them. Let me now introduce Professor Sridhar to you. Professor Sridhar has expertise in the IT and public policy domain, and he specializes in telecom regulation. He's a professor at IIIT. He's also the author of multiple books. Let me pull up his profile. I think you should definitely check out his books. He has books published in the Oxford University Press and Springer, right? So he's also an educator. He loves training people, training learners like you, and he's taught not just in India but also in countries such as US, Finland, and New Zealand. So, in fact, Professor Sridhar right now is streaming from California, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So, Professor Sridhar, I'll just hand it over to you, and then you can introduce yourself, and we'll get started.
Thank you. Good evening, all of you, for joining this particular webinar. And thanks, Aparna, for introducing me, as well as a quick overview of what we are going to cover today. Welcome to this particular webinar. This is very special because we have a lot of things in store in this webinar to answer some of your questions.
Let's quickly get started, I guess.
We can get started. I just want to tell you that, of course, I'll be teaching some of the master classes for you later on as well, if you join the program. Over to you, Aparna.
Right. Definitely. So Professor Sridhar is in fact one of the program advisors as well for this particular course. So let's jump right into the session, I guess. Firstly, I think a lot of learners here would want to understand, is a 6-month time span really enough for me to get started and start thinking about taking up job opportunities in cybersecurity?
Yeah. So 6 months. So this program is the Advanced Executive Program in Cybersecurity. So we have carefully looked at the various topics that we want to cover within a span of 6 months, because I see that 50% of you are having work experience. I mean, I've seen close to about, if I remember correct, 20% of you have more than 10 years of experience. This program is ideally tailored for people who are working at the same time, want to upskill themselves in the area of cybersecurity. So what we have done is to put together, as Aparna earlier mentioned, including the latest technologies such as Gen AI into the program. And then we have created master classes around some of the emerging topics such that we can cover most of the essentials of cybersecurity within 6 months. Of course, it's going to be very challenging in terms of commitment from you because most of you may be working, so you'll have professional commitment as well as personal commitment. So I really would like to request, if you join this program, to allocate roughly 14 to 15 hours per week so that you can get the maximum out of the program. So the idea is that we will prepare you for skill enhancement so that if you're not aware about cybersecurity, and it is very essential as we will discuss later on, to get to know about cybersecurity and then put it in practice in your workplace. At the same time, get certification, get prepared for certifications so that you will be sort of available in the market as a cybersecurity expert, right? So these are some of the objectives of this particular program, Aparna. So definitely we can get you started with cybersecurity skills within 6 months.
Yes, absolutely. So what Professor Sridhar is trying to convey is that this program offers you the structured learning that you need if you're a fresher to the domain, and of course, skills that prepare you for what's coming up in a job, and you will be ready to take up an entry-level opportunity after this course. So that's exactly what he wanted to convey. So according to you, Professor Sridhar, because you've seen multiple learners in your tenure, so what skills do you think we'll need in 2025 with respect to
So let us
cybersecurity?
break, so let us
Yeah, of
break
course.
this one out, right? So security, cybersecurity is a very vast subject. So as Aparna has mentioned, we are going to give you a structured learning process. So nothing, knowledge is not new at all to today's context. You go to DeepSeek or you go to ChatGPT, you type cybersecurity, you will get a lot of references. So it is not that we are going to just tell you whatever is already there on the web or in any other place, but provides you with a structured learning so that you can put it all together. That's the most important aspect. In fact, I was talking to some AI specialists today. Knowledge, you can get it from anywhere, but asking questions, putting it all together in a structured way is very important in today's context. So that's what we're going to do, right? So to break it up, the cybersecurity can be sort of broadly defined under 3 or 4 areas, right? So the first one is network security. So all of us are connected. Internet is ubiquitous. We have, if you're working on enterprises, then you will have the intranet as well. And protecting this network is very important. And there are, very infamous attacks such as distributed denial of service attack. If you have heard about it, very dangerous for enterprise security. And these are some things that we will cover in the network security. So, for example, distributed denial of service attacks can bring down the entire internet within months. It actually happened in 2002 when the distributed denial of service attack destroyed some of the root servers. I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. There are about 6 to 7 original root servers in the US, and without which the internet cannot function. And this happened in 2002. Internet almost went to a blackout, right? Except that there was one server which survived the attack and it kept the internet going. Very, very dangerous. We will discuss about some of those things in this particular module. So that's about network security. The second aspect is threat detection and prevention, right? So cybersecurity, before it happens, we have to take proactive measures, right? So if it happens, there is one thing that I want to tell you guys. Cybersecurity is taken very lightly in any organization. They talk about cybersecurity, but you cannot really, if you go to the chief executive officer and ask that I have to be given something like, 100 crore for improving cybersecurity in my organization, he will immediately say no. On the other hand, if a chief marketing officer go to the CEO and say that I want 100 million, I will give you $400 million revenue. Immediately, the budget will be sanctioned. So cybersecurity very difficult to assess what is known as the return on the investment on cybersecurity products. And therefore, most of the organizations still have a lot of vulnerabilities. So the objective in this particular module is to find out methods for threat detection and then prevent it before it happens on the ground. The third one is cryptography. Almost all our data is available, but it has to be protected. Of course, there are a lot of laws and regulations which are coming up in the world, which says that the privacy of the data which is present in any organization has to be protected. So a lot of encryption, cryptographic methods is required, especially for sensitive data, such as, for example, financial data or health data. So we'll discuss about the encryption protocols, and I will discuss later. There is an cryptography expert in our institute. Two of the experts, they actually conduct master classes on especially on cryptography. The last one is incident response. After the event happened, there is no guarantee that your organization or even personally yourself on the laptop will be protected 100%, right?
Yeah.
So you've heard this incidents of Microsoft Azure cloud hacking, which basically created sort of what is called as the blue screen of death in almost all organizations, like hospitals, airports, and so on. So it is bound to happen. The important thing is, how do you respond after the event happens, right? Incident response, preventing further security breaches, taking due diligence to make sure that the losses are minimal. And that is very important from cybersecurity experts' point of view. So this is how we have architectured the course to from beginning until end of any cybersecurity attacks. Over to you.
Got it. So of course, the technical skills do matter, but again, in your experience and according to you, what would you see in a person as soft skills to be hired, to make sure that they're hired for these roles?
Yeah. So, see, there are a lot of different roles which cybersecurity experts play in a particular organization. Right? So, there can be technical people who work on, for example, doing software patching, making sure that firewalls and things like that work and so on, but all the way up to the chief security officer level. So when you go up in the organization, it is very important to communicate cybersecurity policies of the organization to all the stakeholders, educate all the stakeholders to make sure that they understand what cybersecurity is so that they can take preventive actions. So a lot of communication, clearly explaining the security issues is very, very important for a security expert, a cybersecurity expert. The second thing is problem solving. So it is quite possible that there will be security attacks and you will have to respond almost instantaneously. We cannot allow, for example, websites to go down. Even, my website, if it goes down even for a minute, I get really agitated, right? So it is bound to happen, but the important thing is, how do you solve this immediately? Incident response, architecture it within the organization so that all the steps and processes are put in place so that we can get back to it quickly. So problem solving skill is important. Attention to detail. Very, very detailed. Cybersecurity can happen at very, very minute, granular level. It can happen because of a change in the code, right? So that is very difficult to detect. So apart from having the larger overview, you should also be able to drill down to details and then detect what the problem is and correct it with your team's help. So these are the skills that are required broadly upon.
Of course. Got it. So I hope you guys have an understanding now of what you need, what your playbook should be in terms of skills that you need to possess. And of course, you can shape yourselves in terms of the soft skills. Now, I think we'll switch gears here and understand the key domains in cybersecurity. And of course, these are also the domains that we cover as a part of the advanced executive program, right? So maybe you can highlight how the course was structured initially and why we chose these domains while we talk about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, this we have looked at the curriculum from various universities. I mean, Aparna mentioned about Purdue and Virginia Tech, and global universities, especially those in the US, which have been offering this particular program for quite some time. So we wanted to put it all together such that within 6 months in the online program, we'll be able to educate and skill as many people as possible. So we have looked at different domains of cybersecurity. And as we discussed earlier, network security is of prominence. It has been there for a long time, since the 70s, 1970s, right? So network security has been one of the prominent areas wherein attacks can possibly happen. So protecting the integrity and confidentiality of network data is of paramount importance. Some of the things that you will learn is how to how to deploy firewalls, how to configure firewalls, virtual private networks so that communication can happen in an encrypted way, install and implement intrusion detection systems. So all these things to protect, for example, the network and the data which goes across the network is of paramount importance. And that's what we'll cover in the first module, network security. The second one is information security. When data or information goes across, how do you protect it from unauthorized access? Most of the incidents happen because people get access to the data which they're not supposed to access. And therefore, preventing unauthorized access is very important. Any kind of encryption, most of the I mean, if you visit a website which says HTTPS, right, you know that the information that you're communicating with that website is going to be secure and safe because it is encrypted, right? So this encryption mechanisms are very important for protect the data from leaking out, from disclosures, and so on. So we will cover in general all the aspects of information security in this particular module.
Yeah.
The third one is application security. So all of us, most of the users are not involved about the intricacies of the tech stack. If you have a tech stack, the topmost one is application, right? That's what we are dealing with. For example, we deal with Zoom application, but we don't know about the internals of Zoom. There are so many things which go into building that Zoom, right? So the application is very vulnerable because it is exposed to the public at large. And therefore, most of the attacks take place at the application layer level. So we want to make sure that whatever applications that you build, a web app or a mobile app or any application that you build, proprietary application, it is free of vulnerabilities as much as possible, because these vulnerabilities can be exploited by attackers who are just waiting to hack into the user's domain, right? And the best way to do it is to find a loophole in the application. So secure coding practices are very important. If the code that you have built for the application development, I mean, you can always generate the code today using Gen AI, right? It's possible. But we want to make sure that the code does not just provide functionality, but it also preserves the privacy and security of the users. So it is very important to understand application security, provide a vulnerable free application to the end users. That's the third module. And fourth one is identity and access management. So we want to make sure that only authorized users can access the specific resources. As we have mentioned before, unauthorized access can lead to holes in various places in the application stack, and it can provide vulnerability, entry points for the security attackers. So we want to make sure that access management is appropriate. We want to make sure that you have multi-factor authentication, right? So that every application will depend on, for example, 2 or 3 ways of verifying your identity, so that only authorized users can have access to this application. So these are covered in the fourth module on identity and access management. The fifth one, as we have earlier discussed, is incident response and management. So after the incident happens, how do you detect it? How do you respond to it? I want to just make it very clear. Today, the regulation dictates that the organizations take due diligence in protecting their information assets. Because if one point, normally attackers wait for finding out the weakest point in the network. If they attack that, then they can actually propagate it and then bring the entire network of systems down. And therefore, it is very important that each organization make sure that their assets are protected well and all the security precautions are deployed. In fact, there is an organization called Computer Emergency Response Team India, which dictates that if vulnerability is detected, it has to be cleared. I mean, it has to be patched, and it has to be the securities loopholes should be detected and patched within 36 hours. So, which means that as security experts, you have very short span of time in order to respond to an event if it happens, and that is very much required in today's context. So Module 5 takes you through the details of development of incident response plans organization-wide, make sure that the data breaches are as mitigated as possible. And the last one is cloud security. So most of the applications today run on cloud. It can be on Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or Amazon Web Service. Even though, for example, these service providers such as Amazon, Google, and Microsoft provide security, built-in security for the cloud applications, still possible that your cloud applications can be hacked, right? So cloud security basically provides some insights on protecting data which is hosted on the cloud. You will understand, for example, the cloud infrastructure, how to make it compliant with standards to make sure that the security of the cloud applications is preserved as much as possible.
Got it. Got it. So these are the 6 domains. And of course, when you mentioned incident response, I think the ability to meet tight deadlines or ability to work in tough situations is also a soft skill, I guess, when you work in cybersecurity. Right. So I think let's talk about how someone can prepare for a career in 6 months. We already have questions on the Q&A box. We'll take them in a while. Maybe after you understand the roadmap, you should be in a better position, in terms of knowledge. So let's understand what should one do in months 1 and 2.
Yeah. So the initial months of this particular program, we get you working on some of the basics. For example, if you want to learn about network security, you have to know network fundamentals, right? So you have to know what are the protocols, how, for example, network functions, understand some of the basic operating systems such as Linux, so on which most of the servers run. And that is the first part of it. The second one is basics of cyber threats and common attack methods. For example, today if you look at the newspapers every day, there is some attack or the other. Some of the common attacks include phishing attacks, ransomware attacks, and then botnets, things like that, which continue to happen. So, which means that you have to understand some of the most commonly occurring. I mean, there are about 10 commonly occurring cyber threats, which includes phishing, ransomware, botnet, and so on. And therefore, these are some of the basics that we have to learn in the first 1 or 2 months. So the important thing is that you may be coming from different background, but we want to make sure that you're all well prepared within the first 2 months in order to take on the in-depth courses later.
Understood. So about months 3 and 4, what should their roadmap be?
Yeah, so month 3 and 4, we'll go dive deeper. And then the important thing about this particular program is that you will also have a lot of hands-on experience. So you'll be exposed to a lot of tools so that you'll be able to sort of understand how to deploy tools, how to configure the tools, and so on. For example, in the case of network security, you should be in a position to install firewalls, intrusion detection systems, basic threat detection tools. In the case of vulnerability and penetration testing, you should be able to use some of these tools such as Wireshark, Nmap, and things like that. So this 3 and 4, you will sort of have hands-on experience with cybersecurity tools so that you will be able to understand and deploy network security, application security, intrusion detection systems so that you'll be able to put your knowledge to practice.
Right. And the last couple of months?
Yeah. So the important thing in this particular program is that, certification matters. right? So there are a lot of organizations like CompTIA, Cisco. They have been offering certificates for a long time. They are internationally accredited agencies and they are internationally accepted certification programs. So we want to make sure that after this program, you will be able to get those certifications. For example, prepare for certifications such as certified ethical hacker or other security security certifications from CompTIA, which is one of the largest organizations that provide cybersecurity certificates programs. We also want you to fine-tune your skills so that with that certification and with this program, you will be able to enter into any entry-level cybersecurity roles.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people have this question about how they can transition. Some of you have put it on the chat, some of you have put it on the Q&A. See, I guess this roadmap and the 6 domains that we talked about are the key here. And so this roadmap is also how the course is built. So it helps you understand the networking fundamentals first. Why you need to understand is you're protecting ultimately a network of systems. You need to understand how it works, what is it built upon, and what kind of threats is it vulnerable to. So this is exactly the core knowledge that you need. And then you understand firewalls, you understand how you can use real world tools, cybersecurity tools, and then you actually fine tune your skills, decide which domain you want to pick up, maybe pick up a certification if you need it, right? So that's how you go about it. But again, the fundamentals lie in understanding the domains that we talk about. Okay. So we'll talk about how this course is built in some time. Maybe, Professor Sridhar, if you could highlight what roles can one be ready to take on, maybe the entry level roles, because I think more than half of them are at the entry level, in terms of cybersecurity. So what roles does this course allow them to take?
Right. So I've seen that, close to about 60% of you are just beginning your career. And of course, there are people with 10 years of experience. They can actually migrate. I mean, it is very important. Even if you have 10 years experience in IT sector, there is no way by which you can miss cybersecurity as a skill, right? Because even if you are very well experienced, you've been working in an organization for about 10 years, even in IT, very important to understand the cybersecurity because that's becoming the most important in protecting information assets of the organization, right? So irrespective of your years of experience, this skill is definitely very much required and is in high demand. So the job roles. So we have looked at the job roles. So even if you look at predictions by some of the job portals, these are some top roles which come up, right, which are in high demand. For example, security analysts. This is a broader role, much broader role, and it provides analysis of the security infrastructure within the organization, monitors and defense systems from security attacks. So it's a much broader role that a security analyst will play, right? So understand the security requirements of the organization, put in place security measures to make sure that the information assets are protected. Then there are very specific roles, such as, for example, the penetration tester. So as we have discussed about, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is one of the key things in any organization. So before the incident happens, we have to detect vulnerability. We have, periodically do penetration testing to make sure that there are no vulnerabilities or holes in the information security system. So this is a very specific role. You will use a lot of tools in order to do vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. The third one is cybersecurity engineer. So these are engineers who build and develop security solutions. So you may be working for IT organization, you may be working for a startup, in which case you might have to get your hands dirty in building some products, or customize certain products that you already have bought. And that's the role of the cybersecurity engineer. The fourth one is very important, ethical hacking, right? So for example, the white hat hacking is becoming very prominent in almost all the organizations. So what is ethical hacking? You want to be able to hack within the organization to make sure what are the points that need attention from security point of view, and then or orchestrate the organization's skills and resources in order to address those very important points. Right. So ethical hacking, most of the organizations have encouraged, they have ethical hacking teams. In fact, in the previous slide, you have seen the certification for certified ethical hacking. So in fact, you can get certified as an ethical hacker. So these are some of the things that you will have this ethical hacking. So using hacking techniques to secure, to strengthen security, identify vulnerabilities within the system under the law is allowed, and that's what ethical hacker typically does. So ethical hacking is one of the important roles. Can you go to the next slide?
Yeah, of course. I think
and the
pretty
last
much
one.
done.
The last one is the incident responder, right? So this is also very, very specific, much like penetration testing. How do you orchestrate the organization's resources after the incident happens so that we can get back onto our business as soon as possible? So these are some of the 5 roles. Most of them you can enter the entry level, but there are also opportunities for those who have a lot of work experience to migrate to some of these roles in their career as well.
So Rajiv has a question. I think, I'm assuming the answer is yes. So is information security and cybersecurity the same thing, or they are the same thing?
So it is the same thing, but cybersecurity is much broader. Information security is a subset of cybersecurity, which means that in the information security, we are just looking at the information, how to protect the information, whereas cybersecurity involves other things such as, protecting the information assets of the organization as a whole.
Right. So, this is one of the many questions that we might get later in the session. So, Samir has a question that, he's from the commerce background and he has no prior tech knowledge, right? So, which means no knowledge on networking and anything associated with tech. Or someone was actually into physical security, and they want to get into cybersecurity. So, how does one navigate this situation when they don't have tech background at all?
See, first of all, you need to be motivated enough to take on this particular program, right? There has to be some objective. Where do you want to go? So, if, for example, if you're in physical security, the skills are easily replaceable, right? But you want to move because you know what security is, and you want to move to cybersecurity. There is a good learning path that you can follow after doing this course, right? So the objective, be very clear on what you want to do. So you want to get to know and become an expert in cybersecurity in 4 to 5 years. That's what you want to do. Even if you're a commerce student, you can pick it up. Most of the knowledge in a structured way, it will be provided. At least the first 2 months, you will be exposed to some of the fundamentals, and therefore you should be able to pick it up. But you should be open in the sense that it is an information course, information technology course, which means that you will have to get your hands dirty. You will use tools. You will be asked to do some things in Linux, for example. After the first 2 months, you should be able to put in your effort to do that, right? So that kind of aptitude or orientation is very much required.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the next question that we have for our learners is exactly that. What do you think is that one thing you need? Now, it can be also finding a curriculum that includes basic tech knowledge. It can be anything. It can be options that are outside of the ones that I've listed here. So maybe just let me know or let us know what according to you is stopping you or is that blocker for pursuing a career in cybersecurity. So people on YouTube who are also mostly beginners, and Zion, firstly, this course will be in English because we cater to a larger audience, a diverse set of people, so it will be in English. And yeah, so let us know what uh, is your necessity, what is that one thing you need, right? And I'll just close the poll down in the next 15 seconds. People on YouTube can use the live chat to answer this. Which is exactly what we also expected. So I'm just closing the poll here and sharing the results. Professor Sridhar, right? Which is also going to be my next question. We'll talk about it when we discuss the curriculum in detail as well. So, a lot of students feel that they don't have the practical exposure, right? So, gaining skills is one, but making sure you practically apply it is the next thing, which is exactly what this course helps you with. We'll just come to the curriculum in a bit. So, like we mentioned, you gain all the necessary knowledge, necessary skills that will prepare you for what's coming up, right? You learn all the foundational cybersecurity concepts, you learn network security, you learn cryptography, you understand threat management. It just builds that foundation for you. And of course, ethical hacking and penetration testing as well. And the most important, which Professor Sridhar also mentioned, is incident response and how you can manage and mitigate these risks effectively. So you will learn these along with understanding cloud security and how data must be protected, and understanding of some key cybersecurity regulations like GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS. So it ensures that you know how an organization can be compliant, right, in any scenario, any industry or domain. Right? So this is exactly what you're going to learn. And maybe Professor Sridhar, of course, I think we talked about what they will learn enough. Maybe you could also explain the learners how a masterclass happens and how a capstone project happens, how a live class typically happens. So maybe if you could also highlight that, because I think our learners know what they're going to get out of this course.
So, thanks, Aparna. So,
Yeah.
in this particular program, we have put together a lot of modules, which are, video recorded from the faculty at IIIT Bangalore, as well as subject matter experts. So, it's a combination of industry plus academia who have built the content for this particular program. So in the Simplilearn platform, you will be given access to some of these, video lessons, and then you will learn it. At the same time, there will be a lot of mentors who will take you through some of the assignments. So each and every module will have assignments in which you will get to know hands-on experience. You will get to use the tools to make sure that you understand the concepts and put it into practice. So these are, and there will be live sessions, which will be taken by subject matter experts. We have a unique aspect called masterclasses in this particular program. These masterclasses are exclusively taken by IIITB faculty. They cover areas which are not covered in the existing curriculum and the video lessons that are presented. The reason is that most of our faculty members who do this masterclass are experts in certain aspects. I mentioned about cryptography. We have, world class. I must say that we have world class cybersecurity experts. Two of them at IIIT Bangalore. They work on very, very advanced topics in cybersecurity. Including multi-party privacy and things like that. So they will take sessions on cryptography, advancements in cryptography. There is a faculty member who has worked in Bosch for a long time, and he's an adjunct faculty at IIIT Bangalore. He's an expert on automotive security. Whenever we have vehicles, most of the vehicles come with IT. IT is, information systems and applications for assessing performance of the cars, and communication with other vehicles, ad hoc vehicular communication. These are all becoming very important, and these are prone to severe security attacks. So he will cover exclusively 2 hours on automotive security. I, of course, cover a lot of things on regulations. For example, we have, as Aparna mentioned earlier, we have the European Union General Data Protection Regulation. We have the Digital Privacy and Data Protection Act in India. We have Health Insurance Portability and Accounting Act in the US. These are all regulations which make sure that you adhere to all the laws with respect to cybersecurity. We have been having this Information Technology Act, which is going to be modified soon as a Digital India Act, that basically gives guidance to businesses and government what to do and how to protect your information security assets and how to respond to, for example, incidences. So these laws and acts are very, very important for cybersecurity experts like you to understand. Because as I mentioned to you before, there was a circular from CERT which said that all organizations have to respond within 36 hours. If you don't respond within 36 hours about a security attack, you can be penalized. Right. So I do this particular 2-hour session on cybersecurity laws and regulations. Then there are experts, right, who take classes on payment security. For example, digital payments is wide, is ubiquitous. Everybody uses digital payment. So when you make a digital payment using phone pay or Google Pay, it has to be made sure that it is secure, right? So there are experts who just look at the digital payment infrastructure and how to protect it, right? Using, for example, there is digital card certification standards and things like that, which provide security for digital payments, card-based payments, and those are covered in some of the sessions. So we have put together the essentials of what you have to know as a cybersecurity expert within 6 months, using a lot of video lessons and assignments and so on. But apart from that, we have also included the master classes, which give you an in-depth knowledge about some advances in cybersecurity as it is happening in the world. We
Yeah,
are also
absolutely.
planning to involve, by the way, Gen AI security also as one of the master classes.
Yeah, exactly. So you will understand how you can leverage Gen AI in cybersecurity as well. Now, to take some questions on the chat, we received a few questions on how we can gain the practical exposure, right? So it's also about practicing what you learned. So basically, what this course prepares you for is for these roles, which are entry level roles, which of course are your steps to grow into the field. So you understand how a system administrator's work is on a day-to-day basis. You understand what an SOC analyst does, and also what a network security analyst does. So when you do these projects with the guidance of your trainers, of your program trainers in the live session, and they are also, by the way, helping you finish the project, helping you understand whether if say you're stuck somewhere, there's also a support team to help you connect with the trainer whenever needed, right? So there are also doubt clearing sessions sometimes that happen. So with the help of these projects, you are able to gain that exposure, and eventually when you start taking up interview calls, let's say you have an interview with your dream companies, then in that case you are able to defend how these skills, how you possess these skills, and what you did practically as a part of this course, right? So it's of course understanding all that Professor Sridhar mentioned, all the concepts that you learn, and along with everything that is needed to prepare you to get into a job role. We have that, and remember Professor Sridhar mentioned that there's Gen AI with cybersecurity, so we already have that covered in the course, right? So you have all you need along with the practical exposure. Now, some of you also feel that, okay, we don't have the tech background. For that, the straightforward answer is that if you want to become a cybersecurity professional, you will need to be equipped with how technology works, right? So that's the straightforward answer. Now, you should figure out where you are in terms of your tech knowledge, and then where you want to go, and try to bridge that gap, maybe either during the course or before and after you finish it. Okay. So this is about the course, and of course, you can see that Professor Sridhar is also a program advisor, along with some other amazing professors, some of whom you may be interacting as a part of the master classes, right? So this is what you get as a part of this course, and interestingly, we had Professor Sridhar, we actually had Achyut in one of our webinars earlier in the same month that we did webinar the last time. So you might want to listen to his story. I'm just going to play this, very small clip. But towards the end, I'll also give you the link to the session we had with Achyut, because he answered some fundamental questions on how he grew in the field and how he transitioned to become senior manager here. So I'm just going to play this audio. If it's working. Yeah.
So, Aparna, this one is there in the website, right? So they can always go through it. And the
Sorry.
audio is, there's no audio. So,
Oh, okay. I think
um,
it's because I'm using my headphones. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, sorry,
you can
I
cut that.
didn't.
Yeah, they can go through it.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll just paste. Yeah, sorry guys. I think I couldn't check the
Yeah, you
chat
can
because I
go through
was.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, you can go through it later. I've shared the link to his chat here. You can also check out other stories though, and of course you can check their LinkedIn profiles as well, right? So definitely one advantage and credential that you get as a part of this course is having the IIITB credential on your resume, right? I mean, I don't think we need to really talk about the credibility. So you get that weightage on your resume when someone sees the IIITB credential on your resume. So maybe again you could explain about the partnership here, Professor Sridhar, about how this partnership came along and how this course, on what principles it was built.
yeah. So we have been discussing with Simplilearn for quite some time. For close to 5 to 6 years, we have been running this program successfully. So as you know, IIIT Bangalore is basically a technology focused institution. We also are a deemed university. We have our MTech program, MS and PhD programs, and so on. Apart from that, we also heavily into continuing professional education for skill enhancement for working professionals. So we are basically a research-led university, and you can go to our website and then understand some of the important cutting areas of research that our faculty members have been engaged, including those on cybersecurity, cryptography, and so on. Yes,
Yeah,
Aparna.
absolutely. So this is exactly what you get. This is a certificate that you get after completing this course. So you get that certificate from IIITB, and of course, there's a certificate from Microsoft for all the Azure courses that we have, right? So IIITB will issue this program certificate directly after or within you complete this course within 90 days of you completing it. Okay, and of course, there's also a program transcript, something that's stands out in this program. We don't do this with the other programs that we have. Kind of this program stands out because this program directly comes from the university, right?
So the other
So
important thing, Aparna, that I want to mention is that see, we have built in all the academic rigor into this particular program. Right? So it's not
yeah,
just that you you take this course and then write, conduct participate in an exam at the end of the course and then graduate. It's not going to be like that. There will be a continuous evaluation process, and also we make sure that all of you are on top of it. I mean, Simplilearn has a lot of tutors and mentors who will guide you into this particular program. If we want a cohort to move together, right? So if you have a cohort of about 50 or 60 in a particular batch, we want to make sure that everyone is at the same level when they graduate. We also have a detailed transcript which we provide, in which all the courses are listed along with the marks that you have obtained. Apart from that, we also release the IIITB validated certificate. Right. So these are some things that you will get from IIIT Bangalore. And apart from that, Simplilearn has also partnered with Microsoft recently. We are partnering with IBM, if I remember correct. Now it is switched over to Microsoft. So
yeah.
you will get access to Microsoft certified Azure courses in the Microsoft platform, and you will also get a Microsoft certified Azure fundamentals certificate as well from Microsoft.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, you're right, absolutely right, Professor Sridhar. So we've partnered with, collaborated with Microsoft Azure as well, and as you can see, this is for the courses pertaining to Microsoft Azure, right? So another thing that you get apart from everything that we mentioned now is AI-powered job assistance. Now, what exactly do we mean by AI-powered job assistance? Is that we are able to help you understand how your resume can stand out through AI, with the help of AI, and help you with one-on-one mock interviews help you understand what kind of job opportunities you can take up, right? This is in no means that we're guaranteeing anything, but we're helping you in the journey along with everything else that we're offering as a part of this course, right? So the course fee is 1,54,999 rupees, which is close to about 1,55,000. But in order to suit a lot of learners here, we have partnered with the financing companies that you can see, ShopSafe, Propelled, Liqui Loans, to ease out the burden and give you the option to pay via installments, right? So in case you are interested, what you get as a part of this webinar is a scholarship, which the learning advisor will decide based on what your background has been, what your learning experience has been so far in terms of tech or cybersecurity, and a scholarship is definitely available, right? So the only reason we take the eligibility criteria seriously is that you should be able to understand how, or you should be ready to take up a job role, and that will happen when you graduate, when you have a degree, like an undergrad degree, right? So which is why we take that seriously, and the scholarship is also basis your eligibility. So in case you are interested in talking to a learning advisor and understanding whether you can be a part of the upcoming cohort, you should click a yes on the poll that I've just launched, right? So if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you select the link on the video description, and you'll be directed to the exact same page that you see now. And there you can just drop your entry and someone will reach out to you. But if you're watching me on Zoom, just clicking on a yes will do. Your details will be available with the learning advisor. They will know that you've attended this webinar. Just convey that you actually attended a webinar and spoke to, and gave your interest here. They'll be able to help you with the scholarship, right? So I'm just going to leave that poll live for a while. Remember that the upcoming cohort starts in June, but we are closing applications in the next 6 days. So we take time to screen applications, make sure cohort is ready, and we take limited applications, right? So which is why you should be, finishing your application, finishing your enrollment process in the next week. Yeah. So, Professor Sridhar, we've got a few questions, not related to the course, but about how someone can transition. So, is it really needed for someone to have a certification to get into cybersecurity if they are already into third-party risk management?
Yeah, so certification is an additional qualification, as I've mentioned before, right? So certification definitely helps you in positioning yourself because these certifications are internationally, accredited, they are accepted, and therefore it is in your interest to get as many certifications as possible in the relevant areas. But it is an additional qualification, not mandatory for someone to get into cybersecurity roles.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Ayub, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, how can you get cybersecurity resources, comprehensive PDFs? So I think the best resource for you right now is this course because it has structured, all the concepts in such a way that you consume each of these at, in your own pace rather than consuming everything randomly and then not knowing what to do with it, right? So, which is
See,
why this course,
yeah,
yeah,
correct. Aparna. So
absolutely.
the course gives you a structured way of learning, right? So otherwise you can always get whatever I have discussed. It's not anything new. You can ask ChatGPT and you'll be able to get the answer, right? But the important thing is how do you put it all together? That's the most important thing. So it is not in isolation that you have all these resources, right? So this course gives you a very structured way of thinking about it so that see in your organization when you become a cybersecurity expert, so you have to have standard operating processes, and you cannot do ad hoc experimentation. So this course will will make you an expert in applying standard operation processes if there is a security threat or security vulnerability and so on. That's what this course prepares you.
Got it. Got it. All right. So about half of you have responded on the poll, and some of you have already expressed your interest. Is there any limitation for certifications, or can we do as many as we want? So
Yeah.
I think,
Only
yeah,
thing
I'll
is
let
you
you answer
you have
that.
to spend. I think these certifications cost. So but there is no limit on the number of certifications. But you want to accumulate or you want to apply for certification in different areas. For example, security, network security certification, combining it with ethical hacking certification will be complementary, and therefore it will give you more advantage in the job market.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think directing your energy in one domain probably will help you understand what certifications firstly are needed, and then eventually pursue them. I guess that also you could keep that as a suggestion, Samir. If there are more questions, please keep putting them on the Q&A box. Professor Sridhar is available for another 10-15 minutes, and after that, we'll have to close down the session. So just make sure you are quick with your questions. The chat box is closed because I've just pasted the link of the course page here. So when you land on the course page, there's also an option of live chat, right? So you can just put in your query here and someone will reach out to you. Or let's say you click on talk to an advisor, a learning advisor will reach out to you tomorrow morning. Okay. So in case you've not answered a yes on the poll, but you would like to take time, yeah. Also, what you can do is download the syllabus and understand what happens in the course in detail, and then drop your information as well. That totally works, right? I understand that's a huge decision to take, whether to upskill or not. So maybe you should consider downloading the curriculum as well, and then understanding what you'll be learning, who your trainers are going to be, what tools you'll be learning. Of course, then speaking to a learning advisor is also okay. Right, so we have got another question. You've completed this course already. Great to know. And I want to know after this, can I say I have 1 year of experience? Okay, so this was your question earlier as well. I don't think this is the case, Professor Sridhar. So this learner has completed this course a while back, and I don't think they worked in the domain, but can they say they have 1 year experience in the domain? I'm not sure. Until you
Unless he has
worked,
experience, no, unless he has
yeah,
worked, he cannot say that because this is a
Ye-
training program, right? This is not actually
yeah,
a replacement for on the job.
yeah, absolutely. So I think that's the answer you've been looking for. Okay. Great. So just a last couple of minutes for the poll to be live, and then I'll be closing it down. And also the scholarship offer ends when when I end the poll. So if you've clicked a yes on the poll, you're still eligible for the scholarship that I mentioned. So make sure you actually reach out when a learner advisor reaches out. Make sure you ask this question as well. Okay, and be quick with your decisions to become a part of the cohort, because like I said, we're closing down applications on the 14th of May, and the induction actually starts on 21st, and then the actual classes in June. So make sure you're kind of quick with your decisions as well. Okay, Abhijit, Simplilearn does not help in getting placements, which is exactly what I said. We help you understand what opportunities you can choose, help you understand what gaps you have in your resume, and how you can fill those gaps, right? So this course prepares you for an entry-level role. Now, how you get that role depends on, of course, your interview skills, depends on, of course, your resume writing skills, how you talk to your HR manager, how you talk to your hiring manager when you are in the interview, actually. So that's why we don't offer any guarantee of jobs, because that's totally dependent on the learner. Again, your skill level also matters when you apply for a job, right? Job assistance happens at the end, Samir, if I'm not wrong. So I may be
Mm.
incorrect here. It happens towards the end of
Yeah.
the course,
So,
the
but I
fag
just
end.
want to inform all the participants of this webinar that job doesn't come that easily, right? So we have to earn it. So which means that when you are doing this program, you do your due diligence. You make sure that you learn all the concepts, tools, techniques, apply for certification at least for a couple. Then automatically job will follow you because I've been hearing this forever. across the globe, across all countries. Cybersecurity experts is one of the most demand driven, right? So I mean, there is so much of demand for cybersecurity experts as we speak today. So if you get your skills correct and if you get yourself prepared, I don't think there is any problem in getting a cybersecurity job in today's
Yeah.
context.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's true that every organization today wants to protect their digital assets, and I think it's mandatory, like what Professor Sridhar mentioned. So I think there's no dearth in opportunities. You'll have to be smart with it and find the right one that suits your skills, needs, career goals as well. Right. So with this, I'll just close down the poll, and thank you so much for 30 people out of the 60 people who have expressed their interest, which is great. What I'm going to do now, very quickly, is we are going to help you understand the enrollment steps as well. Now, if you've given a yes on the poll, what you do is after, let's say a learning advisor contacts you, just make sure that you let them know what your profile is, what your background has been, whether you're a graduate or not, and then selected candidates will be given a payment link on which they can remit the course fee. Okay, so this is
So one
exactly.
important thing that I want
Yeah.
to mention, Aparna, is that
Yeah.
this is meant for only those who have graduated with an
Yes.
undergraduate degree, right?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not open
Absolutely.
for students who are still in the undergraduate program because we want to
Yes.
make sure that it is for, those who have graduated, who are looking to upskill or who are working, who want to change jobs, profiles, and things like that. So this course is mainly catered for non-students.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is why this is very, very clear, like I said in the beginning itself, that you will need to have an undergrad degree because that's when you are ready to take on more knowledge. And you won't, I don't think it makes sense for you to do two courses at a time, not knowing what you should do later, right? So make sure you meet these eligibility criteria. Otherwise, the learning advisor will actually kind of not take your application ahead, right? Yes, absolutely. Graduated with 50% plus CGPA. Correct. Absolutely correct, Samir. Right. So I don't think we have any more questions here. Great. So what I'm going to do towards the end, we've come towards the end of the session, is I said there will be a couple of free giveaways. So I will be sharing the recording with you guys, or recording of the session, so that you can understand, revisit the session anytime you want to. And along with that, we'll also be sharing the presentation deck as PDF, right? But yes, of course, we will be also sharing the certificate with you. So that's the second giveaway that I was mentioning. So in case you want these resources to be emailed to you tomorrow, please make sure you enter your name the way you'd like it to be displayed on the certificate. So your certificate will look just like this. But make sure you enter it in the next 10 minutes because we're about to wrap up the session. Yeah. So any final advice that you have, Professor Sridhar, for our learners here?
Yeah. So thanks for attending the session. I mean, at least it's very late in the night for you guys. I'm still in the
Yeah.
morning. I'm just waking up now. But this program, we have thought about it quite a bit before launching the program. It has been one of the flagship successful program, which IIIT Bangalore and Simplilearn have been doing for the last 3 to 4 years. And there has been, totally positive. Almost all the graduates who have come out of this program have very positive experience, and I'm sure that you will also have. And it prepares you for the future job roles, which is in the area of cybersecurity. So I'm sure that you will get the maximum out of the program. Do your due diligence, attend all the sessions, complete your assessments, get the maximum out of the program, and you are on your way to become a cybersecurity professional. So we will be glad to have you with us for the next 6 months.
Yes, absolutely. And you might meet Professor Sridhar again for the master classes as well. So one last question that Samir has, Professor, is okay, its answer is again no, but yeah, I think I want you to answer that. Can AI fully replace security jobs? in the future?
No,
Is that going to
no.
happen?
Actually, there is it's a two-sided a sword, right? So, for
Yeah.
example, as AI improves, there is AI adversaries, right, which are going to use AI in order to hack into the system, and therefore we need to be AI prepared so that we can um, mitigate those kind of risks. So in fact, AI is going to increase the job of cybersecurity because AI adversaries, as you are probably aware, are rampant in today's context. They can build programs in order to penetrate your security of the organizations within minutes using Gen AI and LLMs. Right. So our role will become more and more important in the future. You
Sorry, I
are
was
on
on mute.
mute.
Yeah, yeah. So absolutely, I think you're going to use AI as a companion rather than, thinking of it as a competitor. So that's why we have the Gen AI component in this course as well. So you should definitely consider understanding how you can leverage it by becoming a part of an upcoming cohort. Right. I think we've got enough entries from people. In case you've got questions, please drop us an email at askus@simplilearn.net. This is if you have questions about the course. Now, let's say you have a question about this webinar or an upcoming webinar with us. Please drop us an email at webinars@simplilearn.net. Now, if you've already dropped your name on the poll, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to email us. But people watching us on YouTube, let's say you have a question on how you can join a live webinar on Zoom, whatever it is, right? Just email us here on this email ID. But let's say you have a question and want a learning advisor's input, this is your email ID, right? So it was great bringing this session to you. Thank you so much to all the learners who took the time out to learn, understand what you should be doing. So I hope you've got takeaways from the session as well, practical ones. And then I hope you apply them and eventually become part of the cohort too. Right. So I'll see you again, Dr. Sridhar. Thank you so much for your time today as well.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.